Namaskaram everyone, welcome back to the second episode of our master level design series. So in the last episode we created 4 different type of walls: a basic wall, a wall with a door opening, a wall with a window opening, and connected walls. And in this episode we are going to create a door for a door opening wall and 2 sliding windows for our window opening wall. So let's just get started. Now let's begin adding the door in this door opening wall. I'll duplicate it and make sure your grid snapping is on. Now once you have this, I can hide other things. Okay, and we will apply this mirror modifier on this one, and let's go in the edit mode. Now let's go ahead and remove this entire loop cut because we don't need it. Hold the shift alt and just click on it. It will select the entire loop. Press X, dissolve the edges. Now we have the simplistic version. Now by going in the face mode, by pressing 3, I can select these 3 faces. Press Shift D to duplicate. You can see it duplicated the faces, and right click to leave them as it is. And now let's press P to separate it by selection. Now you have your frame and the door wall separate. So let's turn off snapping, and you can see when you press tab, you will get 2 objects. One is the wall, second is this frame. Now we are going to push this boundary by going into the edge mode. So I'll select the front edges. Okay. And I'm going to push it inside by 0.1, and then we are going to add some thickness. So for this, first select the frame in the object mode, go in the add modifier, search for solidify, you'll get this. So let's add a thickness of minus 0.03. This will add the boundary of this frame. Let's even out the thickness, and after this we are going to pull this door a little outside. So I'm going to go here in the back and I'm going to pull it out. GY 0. Let's say 2. Press enter. Now once this is done, just select it again, apply this solidify modifier. Once you apply it, and now let's go in the front, go in edit mode, add a vertical loop cut, align it with your x-axis, so it is around 0.45. Press enter. Okay, this exactly lines up with our x-axis. So these values are something that I've already experimented. I'm making this tutorial very short. And then I'm going to select these 3 faces. After selecting them, press Alt-T to extrude, but we have to extrude them along their respective normals. So I'll say 0.02. Press enter. We are going to remove this middle edge loop. Press X, dissolve the edges. Cool. You can see this one as well. Let's remove this too. Cool. We are good. And now I'll go behind this door. Here I'll go in the edit mode and I'll select this outer edge loop. Select this. Now press Shift D to duplicate. Right click, let's turn off this grid snap, and P to separate it by selection. Once you do that, you will find another object here. Let's go in object mode by pressing tab, select these 2 frames, hide them, and you will get your edge. Go in the edit mode, vertex mode, select these 2 bottom vertices, bridge them, then select all 4 to fill them, and you will get your plane. That is nothing but our door. And then unhide back. Bring this outwards by snapping G, Y, and we are out. Now we are going to add some thickness. Press tab to go in the edit mode, face mode, E 0.05. Okay, then we are going to go in the edge mode, apply 2 loop cuts, one in the middle, another one horizontal. And now we are going to select these 4 faces. Same at this side. Alright, and then I'm going to press I for 0.1, let's say, enter. Make sure the individual is selected. After this, we are going to press I again and push it by 0.02 maybe. Press enter and then press SY to push it and squeeze it a little inside. Cool. Now let's put that back in and make sure the grid snap is on. G, Y, and yep, you have your door ready. And let's press Alt H to bring everything in front. And before we move on to the window part, let's select this frame, only frame, and shift select this wall and then press Ctrl P to parent and set it to object. Now once you do that, G, Z, you can see your wall is moving with the frame. So let's move on to the window part. For this, I'm going to shift select the window and I'm going to duplicate it, press X and move it in the horizontal line, hide everything else. And now let's apply this mirror modifier. So we have to go in the object mode again and apply it. Now if we come back, and we can remove these edge loops, so hold shift alt and select this edge loop, this one too, press X, limited dissolve. Okay, and now press 3 to go in face mode. Select these 4 faces. We are going to follow the same approach. Now we are going to duplicate it, shift D, right click to release it, press P, separate it by selection. Apply the solidify modifier, go for -0.04. This will add the thickness, even it out. Once this is done, okay, now let's pull this frame outside. So I'll press GY 0.02. So now it gives a vibe of frame. Now what we are going to do, select this frame, go in the edit mode, select the faces, only internal, and press shift D to duplicate, right click to release it, P to separate it by selection. Once we do that, we select this separated frame and we apply a solidify modifier. Go for 0.06 thickness, even, and it should be negative. Okay, you need to go for the edge mode, select this edge loop, push it inside by 0.1 in negative, and the same thing we have to do in the opposite side. So just select the loop, push it inside GY 0.15. I think that should be enough. We can reduce it later on. Apply this solidify modifier. For this we have to go in the object mode, and then we are going to make a loop cut. So for this, just go Ctrl R and make 2 loop cuts, right click to release them as they are, and then we are going to select the faces. So for this, just select this middle face loop. Okay, we got that right. Press S, Y and Y2, press enter. And now I'm going to go in the face mode, select these 4 faces, and then I'm going to extrude them along their normals. Alt E, and then I'm going to go for 0.032. Okay, once this is done, you have your frame ready. Now do one thing, just duplicate it and enable the grid snap first and then move it GX. Okay, and then I'm going to make another loop cut. Let me locate it correctly. Right click, release it, do the same here, loop cut. Okay, we got this, left, right. Okay, now select this face and then press Ctrl plus 2, 3 times. Okay, then press X, faces. Everything is gone. Let's just bridge the gap. Go in the edge mode, fill the edges. Do not select the wrong edges like this, so it looks a little elusive sometimes. So just make sure you are not filling the wrong edges. Alright, so you have your frame, you have your window. Put that window back to where it belongs. Front orthographic 5.1 and then press 9 to go to the back orthographic view. Select this G, X and move this right inside. Okay, and then you go to edit mode, enable the X-ray and then select this, press GZ. Make sure you are zoomed in enough, otherwise the grid snap value would be higher, so make sure. Okay, the window, and then go and zoom in, GX. I think we have to disable the snap. Go for 0.005, that's perfect. And then here too, so select this. I must have taken some wrong value, so that could be the reason why we are suffering with this. 0.05 for this too. And select this too. And let's enable the grid snap for this one because I think this is perfectly fine. And let's make space for another window, GZ, and then let's put it here. Or let's do it like this, okay? And now go in the object mode, Shift D to duplicate, and let's bring it here. And then zoom in, GZ, and this is perfectly aligned. Now that's what I call a window. We would make it sliding window. So for this, we are going to select these two frames, press S, Y, and then squeeze them inside, let's say by 0.5. Once we do that, we can pull this out to the, okay, let me disable the snap GY again, and then just at the border. Perfect. And this one should be pulled outwards, so GY. And so now if you, first of all, let's right click and set origin to geometry, so that this origin, which was somewhere down here, can be moved to the center. Okay, and now if we move it GZ, you can see it's perfectly looking good, right? Now we need to add the glass. So for this, go in the edit mode, go in the face mode, and then select these faces, press F. Here's your glass. Do the same for here. Select the faces, press F, and you have perfect wall with a window. But if I enable the lighting, all right, it looks good. Yeah. Okay, let's pattern things out. Select the internal frame, the external frame, press Ctrl P, and this would parent to this. Now this frame is moving with this. Select this frame again, shift select the wall, press Ctrl P, set to object. Alright, so I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, see you. Tada, bye bye.